Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. I am excited to be sharing my first candle empties for 2025. I have a total of 30 empties, so we're just going to hop right into it. First up, we have November from Crandle. This was one of the first candles I hauled from Crandle back in 2022 when I first shopped with the brand. I don't have the scent notes for this candle, but it is a fresh, cool, outdoorsy fragrance with a mint note in it. Towards the end of the candle, I did get some soot. I heard that is normal for these large tumblers because they act as a hurricane the deeper into the candle you get. And then sometimes I just get carried away because the wax stays clean and it doesn't soot like crazy to where I feel like I can't burn the candle past 3 hours. So I'm pretty sure a part of me burning this one for anywhere from like 5 to 6 hours has something to do with that. But overall, the wax pool stayed clean on this one. Oops, sorry. The wax pool stayed clean. It was just a little bit of soot accumulation around the jar. I would say the strength and throw was more in the soft medium range for me with this one. It wasn't a super strong, fresh, minty, cool fragrance. In my bedroom, I would place the strength and throw at like a 5 in a hurricane. But in my daughter's room, her room is a bit more smaller than mine. It was a solid 6 in her bedroom. So it all depends on the size of the room that you place this in. And I wasn't using a hurricane in her room. And the fragrance softly filled up her entire bedroom. So I enjoyed this one, but I think I would pass on repurchasing it again. Next up is Skull and Sonnet. I absolutely loved every burn of this candle. Strength and throw was also in the soft medium range for me. I would say the strength was a little bit stronger than the throw and projection on this in a closed concept. I did keep mine in a hurricane in my bedroom, so it was about a solid 6. I would say it maxed out at a 6. And without a hurricane, it was in the 5 to 6 range, or maybe like a 5 to a 5.5. The notes are, let me get the camera, I can't really see the notes. Okay. Bourbon, tobacco, sandalwood, suede, amber, and oak. I did do a dedicated review of this candle on the channel if you guys want to check it out. I know it's not available now, but it could return, and I hope that it does make a return because this was a really nice, like, conceptual, sophisticated fragrance. I would say you definitely have to enjoy fragrances that have this particular scent profile, the type of scent notes that are listed, because it wouldn't be everybody's cup of tea. But for me, I enjoy fragrances like this one. I definitely would repurchase it despite it having that soft medium strength and throw, because due to the scent profile of this fragrance, had it been too strong, then I think it would have been off-putting. So while it was a soft room filler, it wasn't unscented, but it wasn't too overpowering to where it made the fragrance, you know, smell off-putting to me. So really enjoyed this one. And if it returns this year for Halloween, I would definitely pick it up again. I love You're the One in the body care. So when I saw that this was coming out in the 3-wick, I had to have it. I did not repurchase this candle. I only purchased it once just because certain body care scents, I'm okay with enjoying it in its entirety one time. And then if it comes back, repurchasing it. I did do a dedicated review of this candle here on the channel. Love the package design on this candle. Strength and throw was in the strong medium range, a 7 to 7.5. In my bedroom is where I kept it. And the burn was nice. I didn't have too many issues, just a little bit of soot towards the end of me finishing out the candle, but overall for the most part it burnt nice and clean. And if this one returned again, I would repurchase it. Another body care fragrance that I enjoy, Forever Red. Enjoyed this candle. Another one that I did not back up. I just purchased one and enjoyed it. Strength and throw was also in the strong medium range for me in a closed concept, so I rated between a 7 to a 7.5. No issues with the burn. If you've ever had the fragrance Forever Red, to me, the candle smelled just like the body care fragrance, same as with You're the One. This one is more of like a fruity, perfumey scent, whereas You're the One is more of a slightly sweet rose, powdery rose type of fragrance. Really enjoyed Forever Red, and if it came back again, I would repurchase it. I decided to get my hands on Frozen Waterfalls last winter holiday because in 2023, I didn't really get to shop a lot of Goose Creek's winter holiday fragrances because they launched too close to Candle Day when I shopped in 2023. So I decided to pick it up last year, and I'm so glad I did because I ended up repurchasing this candle. Frozen Waterfalls has notes of frozen waters, icy grapefruit, white woods, and eucalyptus. I believe I did a dedicated review of this on the channel. Don't let that grapefruit note scare you. This is not a grapefruit dominant scent. It just adds to the freshness of the overall scent. It's a nice, fresh, aquatic, woodsy type of fragrance. It has a bit of an outdoor element to it, but if you like fresh aquatic fragrances, you'll enjoy this. Strength and Throw was a solid 7 in my open concept without a hurricane on it, and the burn was beautiful on this candle. I'm so glad I backed it up. I will probably hold on to the backup until the end of this year, but if this does return again, I would definitely repurchase it. I was just on a fresh kick throughout the month of December and January, so I started burning Catching Rays from Yankee Candle. I absolutely miss these large 18-ounce 3-wick jars from them. I do have quite a few more in my stash to burn and enjoy. This one is more in the soft medium range for me in an open concept. It's between a 6 to a 6.5 without the use of a hurricane, and more of like pushing a 7 in a hurricane. The burn on this one was flawless. Let me see if I can refocus the brightness. There we go. No wax discoloration, no soot collected around the jar. And this is just a nice, fresh, clean fragrance that kind of leans into that kind of like laundry, but not a harsh laundry detergent fragrance. I love Catching Rays from Yankee. I would consider repurchasing it again, but I'm just on a halt with Yankee right now because I really want to burn through a lot of what I have in my stash and see what I would want to repurchase again versus what I wouldn't as far as the classic scents go. I do enjoy a lot of Yankee's classic fragrances more than a lot of the newer stuff that they put out. So this is one that I feel like will be around for a while unless they choose to discontinue it, and it's definitely worth repurchasing. Moving on to crate number 2 and starting up with Kringle's Balsam Fir. This is the most authentic fresh balsam fragrance I ever smelled, like legit outdoorsy. I'm chopping down my own balsam fir tree to bring home and decorate it for Christmas. The only thing I would say about this one is the Strength and Throw was on the soft medium side in an open concept in a hurricane. So I would rate this a 5 to 6 at most in my open concept. So it was more of like a background scent. It didn't overtake my entire open concept area. The burn on this one was flawless, and I did enjoy this type of painted decor on the label. It was really pretty to look at once the candle was lit up. Rumor has it that I don't know if Kringle is completely getting rid of the 3 wicks or if they're going to start doing a different 3-wick style. Definitely check out a few of the ambassadors videos who covered some of the changes that are coming with Kringle between either this year and next year. I hope the 3 wicks stay around because I actually enjoy the 3 wicks more than just the large 2-wick. I feel like the Strength and Throw for me on the 3 wicks are much better. Aside from the Reserve and Halloween candles that I've burned, I would say those had a pretty decent Strength and Throw for me. But some of the classic 2-wick jars, I don't know. They just don't, in the past for me in 2022, they didn't perform the best in Strength and Throw. So I kind of stay away from those. But we'll see what happens. This one, even though it wasn't the strongest tree scent, I did enjoy the authenticity of the fragrance. And at first, when I emptied the first one, I said I wouldn't repurchase it. But this is just one that if it comes back, I know to get 2 and just light up 2 at the same time in my open concept area. But just based off of the authenticity of the fragrance, I feel it's repurchase worthy. Sweater Weather is one of my all-time favorite fresh fragrances from Bath & Body Works that they release around fall and winter holiday. I have been repurchasing this candle for so many years, and now a lot of companies are hopping on the Sweater Weather dupe train, and they are duping this fragrance. Strength and Throw for me on this particular pour was strong as usual, thank God, because I know some of the candles I've been burning, the Strength and Throw has diminished on some of the returning scents, but this remained at a high. I would give it a 9 out of 10. So a nice strong strength with a high throw to it. I could put this in my kitchen and smell it all the way upstairs. I could put it in my dining room and smell it throughout my open concept all the way upstairs on the second level of my home. Burn performance was pretty good on this one. Just a little bit of slight wax discoloration, just a little bit. And that was because I was just letting the candle finish out and, you know, finish burning. But I love sweater weather. I didn't pick it up in 2024 because I had this 2023 packaging. So if I miss it enough, I may pick it up again this winter holiday season. Geo is another great scent that I decided to try from Crandle last year. I did not see any reviews of this candle from any of the ambassadors or anybody else. So when I saw the notes, I had to kind of just purchase it off of good faith that I would enjoy the fragrance, and I did. This is a masculine cologne leaning fragrance, pretty similar to Midsummer's Night from Yankee, but with a much better strength and throw. I would give this a solid 7 in a closed concept without a hurricane. Burn performance was nice and flawless on this candle. If I do happen to catch this one during a good 3-week sale, then I definitely would repurchase it again because I really enjoyed it. And even though it is similar to Midsummer's Night from Yankee, just having that nice, solid, strong, medium strength and throw in my bedroom I was able to enjoy the fragrance a lot more than what Midsummer's Night gives in strength and throw. So if this one goes on sale and is still around, I'll probably pick it up at least one more time to enjoy it again. The scent notes for Geo are blue lavender, leather, sandalwood, vetiver, and warm amber. Rudolph from Goose Creek was so good. Now this one wasn't a powerhouse. It was in a strong medium range in my open concept, 7 to 7.5 without a hurricane. Rudolph has scent notes of Christmas town fir, shiny red apple, and holiday spice. And while this was a spiced apple fragrance, it wasn't your typical fall spiced apple scent. That balsam fir note, while it wasn't a dominant note, it was like this supporting note in the background that just made this a really nice winter apple spice fragrance. Almost a candied red apple scent, not artificial, but it was just different and unique, and I really enjoyed it. Burn performance was pretty good on this one. Just some slight wax discoloration towards the end of me finishing out the candle, but not a whole lot of soot accumulated in the jar. If a fragrance similar to this were to return this winter holiday season, then I would definitely repurchase it because I really enjoyed this candle. Next up is number 42. I remember doing a dedicated review of this candle on the channel. Strength and throw was between a 5 to a 6 in a closed concept for me, and in an open concept it was more of a 4 to a 5. I did back this one up because it was unique enough to me to get another one of it. Scent notes are sweet cream, fresh cinnamon, and vintage leather. It did get a little sooty, burned a little dirty, but I enjoyed the fragrance. And even despite the soot, just keeping the burn time down to 3 hours, I don't feel like the soot got out of control, so I don't regret having a backup of it. But when this does get repackaged and comes back, because I think it's supposed to come back as something else, I'll probably just pass on it, enjoy the one that I have in my stash, and then just be done with the whole fragrance overall. But I really enjoyed this when it first came out, so much so that I repurchased it. Then we have Holiday Cider from Goose Creek. I really enjoyed this candle. This was like another apple spice scent that was amazing. This was a strong one. Strength and throw was high in my open concept without a hurricane. It was a solid 8. Scent notes are pomander, apple, cinnamon, and cider. I did do a dedicated review of this candle on the channel if you want to check it out, just in case it returns. I hope it does this holiday season because it was great fragrance. Just a little bit of wick residue towards where I was letting it burn, and finish out with a little slight wax discoloration, nothing major. If this comes back, I would definitely repurchase it. I really enjoyed this as like a nice like holiday drink type of fragrance during the winter time. This could be burned in the fall too. Despite the packaging, you could just pop it in a sleeve if you still have this one and you didn't burn it yet. But I really enjoyed this candle, and I hope it does return again. Applewood usually comes out in the fall from Goose Creek in the men's line. I really enjoyed this. This was a nice kind of like masculine woody apple scent without smelling too cologne-y. Strength and throw was a solid 7 in my closed concept without a hurricane. This one doesn't have the scent notes. Nice burn on it. No issues as far as the burn. Definitely will repurchase this one again. I was on an apple kick all fall and winter, and I still have some apple fragrances that I'm looking forward to burning through this winter. But I'm getting more into the red apple fragrances, so I can't wait to shop more apple scents during the upcoming fall season for 2025. But this one, if it returns again, then I would definitely pick it up. Really enjoyed this as a bedroom candle. Beautiful packaging on blush, amber, and peony. It did return for spring 1 of this year. However, I will not be repurchasing this candle. I would say for the first half of this, it was a 6 in my closed concept when I first reviewed it. But once I got to the second half, it was more of a 6.5 to a 7 in my open concept with a hurricane on it. I didn't really enjoy this as a bedroom scent. It was just too mature, perfumey leaning for me. Perfume, floral, mature leaning. Just like Luminous, which was another one that I only purchased one time and didn't pick up again. Burn performance was pretty good on it. No issues to complain about with the burn performance. It didn't have puny wicks or anything like that. It didn't soot too much while it was burning. But yeah, this is a one and done. Scent notes: sweet peony, warm musk, golden pear. Another goodie from the Rudolph collection, Ready Rudolph. This was that chocolate peppermint fragrance. Strength and Throw was a solid 7 in my open concept without a hurricane. No issues with the burn whatsoever. I know Goose Creek did quite a few chocolate peppermint and like peppermint blends. So even if it's not in the Rudolph packaging, I would repurchase it. This was, hold on, sorry y'all, can't really see the notes. There we go. Old Fashioned Candy Cane, Creamy Milk Chocolate, and Sparkling Sugar. Another one from the men's collection, Cool Raindrops. I absolutely love this fragrance. This is another aquatic scent that I feel Goose Creek does well, to where it's masculine and earthy leaning, but it doesn't go into that cologne territory. This had a plethora of scent notes when it first debuted in that pretty light blue packaging, and then they reported it and put it in like this storm type of packaging. I feel like the first packaging that it came in burned a lot cleaner than this one, because this one burned kind of hot, fast, and sooty, so I had to keep an eye on it and watch my burn time. But I love this fragrance so much. It's out again in the odor eliminating packaging, so I will probably pick up at least one more again this year, maybe 2. This doesn't have the scent notes, but the Strength and Throw was a solid 7 for me in a closed concept without a hurricane. And if you like those fresh, earthy, rain type of aquatic fragrances, then you'll enjoy Cool Raindrops from Goose Creek. Christmas Carols was another one that was new to me that I enjoyed so much from Goose Creek. Definitely will repurchase this one. Strength and Throw for me was a solid 7 in a closed concept without the use of a hurricane. Scent notes are Frosted Cedar, Yuletide Spice, and Vanilla Bean. So a nice fresh tree fragrance with some spice and some sweet creamy smoothness from the vanilla bean notes. No issues with the burn, not a ton of soot collected in a jar, and the wax color remained that pretty green, like earthy tree green color that is in the label. I did do a dedicated review of this candle also on the channel, and if it returns for this upcoming winter holiday season, I definitely plan to repurchase it. I was so sad when I finished Hibiscus Orchid because I only purchased one of this candle. This was a nice beachy solar floral fragrance. Strength and Throw was in the strong medium range, 7.5 in my open concept without the use of a hurricane. Scent notes are Island Hibiscus, Fresh Orchids, Orange, Pineapple, and Woods. If this comes back, I'm definitely repurchasing it. Past the halfway point, it did act up a little bit as far as like the wick particles getting into the wax pool and a little bit of soot, but majority of the candle burned fine with no issues. So if this gets repackaged and comes back, I'm definitely repurchasing it. I really enjoyed To All a Good Night the first time it came out with the fancy glass lid, so I went ahead and picked it up again last year. This legit just reminds me of Linen and Lavender that used to come out in the past from Bath & Body Works. Strength and Throw was a 6 in a closed concept without a hurricane, and when placed in a hurricane, it was a solid 7 for me. No issues with the burn, not a ton of soot, no issues with the wicks dunning out. To All a Good Night has notes of a cool winter breeze, sweet lavender dreams, nestled in a cozy blanket. Another scent that I loved from Crandle that I purchased last year, Pink Grapefruit. This had a high Strength and Throw, a solid 8 in my open concept. I enjoyed this grapefruit scent so much, I came close to repurchasing it during Crandle's post-holiday candle sale. If this one is still available and it goes on sale again, I need at least 1 or 2 more. It was great for eliminating cooking odors, and it was just a good fragrance to enjoy if you just wanted something nice and fresh and citrusy that didn't lean too acidic. I know some grapefruit candles can lean too tart and too acidic, but this one was nicely blended. If you love grapefruit scents, I highly recommend giving this one a try, and I would definitely repurchase this one again from Crandle. Despite the nostalgia for me with pumpkin cupcake, this will be my last time purchasing it. I feel like pumpkin cinnabon performed much better in my open concept than pumpkin cupcake did. This one had a low strength and throw even in a hurricane in my open concept, and I don't really burn gourmands in my bedroom, so this will be the last time I'll be purchasing this one, but I did like the packaging. This one burnt nice and slow, which was another reason I kept it in a hurricane. So I didn't have tons of soot, and I think the wicks burnt slow but didn't get puny. So overall, a clean burn on this one. This one to me just smells like the frosting. It doesn't really smell too much like a cupcake. It's almost like a spiced frosting scent. Whipped buttercream, Madagascar vanilla, pumpkin spice, and freshly baked cupcake. But other than that, I know a lot of people are a fan of pumpkin cupcake, but for me, this will be a one and done. I don't think I'm gonna get this again anymore. I finally burned through the last candle that I had from the Peter Rabbit collection, Blueberry Jam. This had a strong strength with a high throw in my open concept. I'll place the strength at an 8 with the throw of a 9, and that was without the use of a hurricane. No scent notes for Blueberry Jam. Overall, the burn was nice. Didn't have tons of soot. Didn't have any issues with the wick, just some wick residue getting into the wax pool as I got lower past the halfway point. I enjoy Goose Creek's blueberry scents, so majority of the time I pick them up, whether it's a gourmand scent or if it's something like this where it's just a jam without a bakery element in it. So definitely look forward to more blueberry scents from Goose Creek. I have yet to try their blueberry cheesecake candle. I hear that one is a powerhouse of a candle, so I have to get around to purchasing that one. But I do still have the blueberry cobbler skillet and the blueberry muffin from the Betty Crocker to burn through, but I really enjoyed this candle, and if Goose Creek does something like this again, I would definitely repurchase it. Then we have my beloved Fireside, which did not come back. Bath & Body Works didn't bring back peppermint sugar cookie. They did not bring back Fireside, but they did remix it in the cozy Christmas cabin candle. However, this packaging was a letdown. I remember Fireside being a solid 7 in my open concept. This candle was between a 4 to a 5, even in a hurricane, closed up in my bedroom. So I was super upset because I saved this for an entire year and was happy that I had it in my stash because it didn't come back last year, just for it to have like a low to low medium strength and throw in my bedroom space. The burn performance was great on it though. No issues with the burn. For those who don't know, Fireside has notes of smoked cedar, fresh clove bud, and warm embers. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the candles between fall, I think I had a pretty good fall with the performance of Bath & Body Works candles. And I didn't purchase too many winter holiday scents, but what I did get, I feel like I enjoyed everything that I purchased. I think it was maybe like 5 different scents at the most for winter holiday from Bath & Body Works that I got last year. I'm seeing reviews already of the spring stuff, and I'm not seeing too many positive things as far as strength and throw with the new spring candles that have been released. But you know, everything performs differently to everybody. Everybody's house style is different. Some people use hurricanes, some people don't. You know, they burn them in different areas of their house, and it all depends on if you have high ceilings and the size of the room and all that good stuff. But I'm not seeing too many good reports with strength and throw right now with Bath & Body Works, which is kind of putting me at a halt with getting anything that's new from them, especially the sales. The prices aren't the best. I just don't feel the need to rush out and buy anything right now from Bath & Body Works. If Fireside does return, I do hope they make it and formulate it to where it performs better in strength and throw in an open concept, because while this wasn't a bad fragrance for my bedroom, it was nice and cozy. I typically like to enjoy scents like this in my open concept area and even blend them with some other things. However, I do love Holiday Embers from Goose Creek. So, you know, that's like the next best thing to Fireside. So I do have 2 of those in my stash if Fireside doesn't return. And Christmas Cabin had a pretty good strength and throw for me in my open concept to replace this one. So I love Fireside. Hopefully Bath & Body Works will get it together where it performs much better if it returns again this upcoming fall winter holiday season. I purchased a total of 5 caramel frappuccinos, I believe. I burnt through one when it first debuted for Candle Day because I did a dedicated review of it. This is my second one and I have 3 more left. The first time I burned caramel frappuccino, it had a high strength and throw. This one must be a different batch because I did shop at 2 different stores when I was picking this one up, and this one was more in a strong medium range of a 7 to a 7.5 in an open concept, so it still had a nice presence to it. It's just it wasn't as strong as I remember the first one being. Burn performance was great, no issues with the burn. Caramel frappuccino has notes of rich cold brew coffee, frothy milk, and sweet caramel syrup blended with ice. I really enjoyed this candle. I'm glad I backed it up. I think it came back out repackaged as something else. I can't remember what it was, but I didn't feel the need to purchase it again because I had more than enough of it in my stash. This is one of my favorite coffee blends that Bath and Body Works has made. I didn't really care for Cafe Latte when that came out as the Summer 3 launch, and Paris Cafe is fine, but I gotta be in the mood for it, so this one was more of my speed. So I'm glad I did purchase multiples of it so I can enjoy it whenever I want, because this was a really nice coffee fragrance blend. Caramel spice frosting was a scent that had to grow on me because the first time I burnt this candle, it had that burnt scorch smell and I didn't care for it, so I put it away. I pulled it back out recently for a winter holiday last year and finished it up this month. It did grow on me. I'm not sure if it grew on me enough to repurchase it, but once that burnt scorch smell went away, it did smell like a nice rich caramel frosting with a spice note to it. This one doesn't have the scent notes on it, but it's pretty self-explanatory for what it is. It's a nice gourmand, bakery gourmand fragrance. This had a high strength and throw without a hurricane. I will place this in the 8 to 9 range in an open concept. And other than that last portion where the wick residue was getting into the wax as I was like finishing the candle out and burning it, this one didn't give me any performance issues with a hot, fast, sooty burn. So it burned pretty good for me. We'll see if I repurchase this one again if it returns in the fall. Caramel Pecan Pie is one that I probably won't repurchase because it just fell flat to me. In comparison to Texas Pecan Pie, I preferred that one from Bath and Body Works over Caramel Pecan Pie because that one I actually got the pie crust and the nuttiness from the pecan and the sweet caramel and stuff. This one fell flat and just smelled more like just caramel. I didn't really get a crust note. I didn't really get a pecan nuttiness from this candle. Strength and throw was great on it though. It was a solid 7 in an open concept. Not too many issues with the burn that I can remember. I don't remember this one burning too hot. There's a little bit of soot in there, but it was probably times I was just trying to burn it and get through it and finish it because it just wasn't unique. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. This one, I'm probably just gonna pass on it when it comes back. If you like caramel fragrances though, you'll enjoy this one, but for me this is a one and done. Another fresh clean scent that I always repurchase from Bath and Body Works, Frozen Lake. Strength and throw was a solid strong medium, 7.5 in a closed concept without a hurricane because I think I just enjoyed this one in my bedroom. Usually it's a solid 7 in my open concept area when I do place it in my downstairs area. This one at the halfway point did get puny wicks, but I just cotton balled it once and it corrected itself. Aside from that, the burn was nice, clean, flawless, no issues. I don't have any more Frozen Lake in my stash, and I didn't repurchase it last winter because I had this one from, was it 2023? Yeah, 2023. So if I'm craving it, I'll definitely pick it up again. And if not, I do have frozen Waterfalls from Goose Creek that I can pull out and enjoy if I don't get around to getting Frozen Lake. But this is one that I've been repurchasing and fell in love with it the first time I had it for years now. So Frozen Lake is a good classic scent that comes out during the fall and winter at Bath and Body Works, and I absolutely love it. If you like masculine fragrances and the mahogany flankers that Bath and Body Works usually comes out with, like mahogany coconut, mahogany apple, then you'll enjoy Mahogany Bosom. If you love tree fragrances, this is just a sexy cologne-y tree scent. I love Mahogany Bosom. Strength and throw without a hurricane was a solid 7 for me. I burnt this in a bedroom. It did burn hot and it sooted at the halfway mark, so you can see all of that wax discoloration and soot that accumulated in the jar towards the end of the burn. But the first half of the candle performed pretty good for me. I believe this had the thin core wicks on it. I like Mahogany Bosom, so I would repurchase this one again. I like this label style that they came out with. For those who don't know, Mahogany Bosom has juniper berry, fresh balsam, mahogany wood, and sugared musk. If you never tried this one, I highly recommend giving this one a try if it returns again this year. I got tired of waiting for Bath and Body Works to repackage and bring Dark Velvet Oud out. I was lucky enough years ago. When was this poured? 2022. To get this one at my outlet when I guess they tested at the stores, and I don't know, I guess they didn't do well because I didn't see this one come out. This one kind of reminds me, it's in the vein of Into the Night and Dark Kiss, like those type of fragrances. It definitely has that niche scent to it. Scent notes are dried raspberries, white musk, and oud. I really enjoyed this candle. This was my last one. I had only picked up 2 back in 2022. Thinking it was going to get repackaged and come back, and it didn't. I don't know if they sell this one over in the Middle East, but I guess it wasn't popular enough for the US because I never saw it again. Strength and Throw on this was insane. This was like powerhouse, 9 to 10 in an open concept without a hurricane. Bath & Body Works, this is one that you should repackage and just bring it back and see how it sells again. This one, in comparison to like Blush, Amber, and Peony, I would choose this over that. And I would definitely get quite a few of them just in case Bath & Body Works takes a while to bring it back or doesn't bring it back at all. But really enjoyed this candle. Nice clean burn on it, no issues. Definitely will repurchase it if it comes out again. And last but not least, we have Gingerbread Bakery. This was a solid 7 for me in my open concept area without the use of a hurricane. No issues with the burn. I do have to burn my spiced gingerbread candle. I haven't burned it yet, so I'll get around to burning it before winter is over. Gingerbread Bakery has scent notes of gingerbread cookies, brown sugar icing, and cinnamon spice. So a nice gingerbread spice type cookie type of scent. It had sweetness from the brown sugar. On cold, I felt it was a little savory, but once I burned it, I enjoyed it much more than what I smelt on cold. Overall, it was a nice gingerbread scent. It didn't go into that like burnt, scorched, spiced gourmand realm that some scents can go into when they have spice notes. But really enjoyed this one. I only picked up one. I didn't repurchase it because I knew I had spiced gingerbread. My daughter actually picked this one out at the store because she liked the packaging and wanted to smell it, and she asked, could we get it? So I did. But if you like gingerbread scents, this was a good one. I did do a dedicated review of it on the channel, and it may or may not return this winter holiday season, but I'm glad I picked up at least one to burn through, and I really enjoyed it. That's it, you guys. That's all I have for my first round of empties for 2025. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much. I appreciate you all for tuning in. I do have a body care empties that I want to film for you guys. And then I know quite a few of you have been asking for a candle collection video. So now that my shelf is up, I went through and organized everything. I will be filming that and working on that soon so that I could get that up for you guys. But in the meantime, if you happen to like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, bye.